Just waiting for YouTube.
You are live, sir. Hello, everybody.
Oh, am I actually live right now?
You're live.
Oh. Well.
Good evening, everybody. It is 9:30 on this December the 10th, and there are several tornado warnings down the Western Kentucky Parkway that we are monitoring right now. This is a meteorologist Alden German. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine. Meteorologist T.G. Shuck is over there. So we're going to keep up to date on Facebook Live. We're going to probably have to bump into WHS 11 television here in just a minute, as well as we're starting to see more and more of those warnings.
So we'll go ahead and do some analysis here. We'll look at max HD radar first. Here's Metro Louisville. We only have some light rain falling here, but you can see back to the west, we do have several tornado warnings there in a line, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning there in place for parts of Breckinridge County. So we'll get in a little bit closer on that at the moment. I'm going to be switching between multiple different screens here, so if I'm quiet for a little bit, that's why. It's currently 9:30. All right, I'm also pulling out some of your comments here. All right, so Ava in Hardinsburg saying that you have a lot of lightning, rain, and thunder at the moment. Just seeing where you guys are currently located. Yeah, if you do have storm reports, pass them along to us. That's very beneficial information that we can pass along on air or also to the National Weather Service. And that is all very good for getting an idea of what exactly is going on. So let's go ahead here and look at Breckinridge County. There's a severe thunderstorm warning right now in place until 9 p.m. Central Time. They're an hour behind us, so about 29 more minutes there. And looking at the warning information that they're giving, you're going to see this pop over here really quick. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the main hazards, and it's moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and do a storm track on this. I will pull out here, get our cone tool. So these are moving fairly quickly if they're moving at 50 miles per hour. So we'll track this just about from right near Hardinsburg. So if it continues on its current track at 50 miles per hour, it would put it in Irvington in about 15 minutes, Brandenburg in 27 minutes, Shepherdsville in 52 minutes, Louisville in just about an hour, and a little over an hour in Fern Creek, about 66 minutes there for you guys. Also just south of our coverage area, it looks like they put out a new tornado warning that is just south of Fordsville and bordering on Grayson County right now. So just on the outskirts of our main coverage area. We also have some heavy rain falling in southern Indiana. None of that is severe at the moment. It's just very heavy rain. Washington County, crossing over into Scott County. We looped this over the last hour. I'll slow this down. Loop over the last hour, you can see Salem, you just had some pretty heavy rain there, so that is going to, it's in Little York at the moment, so if you're in Little York, you're experiencing that heavy rain. We also have South Boston, it just went through you guys, so it's entering western Scott County at the moment. We'll see that here in just a little bit near Crothersville, then eventually in Lovett in North Vernon. With North Vernon, you should have just had a little bit of hail there. Okay, Katrina says you can see lightning in Louisville, but that's it. North Vernon, lots of thunder, heavy rain, and lots of lightning. Light rain, moderate winds, and some lightning in Brandenburg. Lightning and light rain in Shepherdsville. Clarksville, the power went out for a few minutes, but is back on. Lots of rain and lightning in Seymour. So this is going to be a fairly long duration event, so that's why we're all in here at the moment, because we are anticipating this going on for some time. So if you take a broader look here, you can see we have this line from pretty much North Vernon all the way down into western Kentucky there near the Bowling Green region, and even further east than that. The only immediate warning we have in our coverage area is for Breckinridge County there, and that's a severe thunderstorm warning until 9 p.m. Central Time, so that will be going on for about another 25 minutes or so. That was part of an earlier cell that had a tornado warning, but that has since weakened quite a bit. So we'll also go ahead and pull in a Futurecast.
Have you shown the wide view out to Missouri?
No, I have not.
So this is like one of the largest. Yeah. You can't see me. I'm just kind of like ghost talking in the background. One of the largest tornado watch box groups like we've ever seen, and there are just lines and clusters of severe storms that stretch out to Missouri and Arkansas. So that's why we say it's probably going to be a really long night. So that is the tornado watch. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 9 or 10 states. That tornado watch until 3 a.m. for our area, and then if you put on the radar and satellite, they're just these groups of tornado-warned storms out to the west. So this is going to be a widespread severe weather outbreak for this December 10th, 2 weeks away from Christmas Eve.
And not a very common thing you have in December for this time of the year. So I'm looking through your comments here. All right, let me pull in a Futurecast, and I'll run through this hour by hour with you guys. So 1 second here, I gotta pull in. Got to pull in my graphics. All right, so let's look at Futurecast. It's kind of showing this activity that's on radar at the moment fairly okay-ish. We're currently not seeing all of that activity that's south of the parkways there near Campbellsville, Columbia, and it's Shepherdsville. So it's maybe a little bit too ahead of itself, but as we continue through that, and this is just more or less a kind of general idea of what we could see. It's not like an exact forecast, but as we continue through the night here, notice by 1 a.m. we're still seeing thunderstorms moving into the region. So this is a event where we are expecting everybody to feel some sort of impact. So that's why we've been really talking about this threat for the last couple of days. So what we're experiencing right now is just kind of, as Ben was saying earlier, an appetizer. It's not going to be until around 1 to 3 o'clock that we actually see that main event start to move into the area. So that's what we're seeing right here. Notice by 2:30, 3 o'clock, when that tornado watch is supposed to be over, we still have some lines of strong thunderstorms here in the area. And even by 5:30, 6 o'clock, even into 7. This is the actual cold front that's moving through now. It's 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. That's where we're seeing even still some showers and thunderstorms. But by that point, it probably is not going to be as intense because we would have had quite a bit of weakening from this earlier stuff, the stuff that we're currently experiencing, working over the atmosphere, as we call it, and kind of taking away a lot of that energy. Then we'll be quiet for the rest of the day on Saturday with pretty quickly falling temperatures. So let's go back here to radar and see what we have. Looking through some of your comments here. Thunder in Shepherdville. Wind is picking up in Nelson County. Nothing in E-Town. Thunder in Brandenburg.
That one Alden back here, in Central City, is confirmed
This one?
on the ground. There.
Okay, so
Muhlenberg County.
So this purple color here is indicating a confirmed tornado over Central City. So if you know anybody that's in Central City, north of Greenville there, or perhaps near Rockport, go ahead and give them a call, give them a heads up that there is a confirmed tornado there, and they should go ahead and take shelter. I know not everybody watching right now is currently in Louisville or our immediate viewing area. Some of you are outside of it in other parts of Kentucky or Indiana, but Central City, there is a confirmed tornado there on the ground. That's headed northeast towards Rockport, and I'll look at some more information here with that one. Okay, this a confirmed tornado located over Central City, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So we can do a storm track on that as well. If you know anybody that lives, especially in Rockport towards Beaver Dam in Ohio County, that will be important information to go ahead and pass along to them, that they should seek their shelter if they have not done so already, because that's a confirmed tornado on the ground in Central City, headed towards Rockport in the direction of Beaver Dam at 45 miles per hour. That would put it in Rockport in 3 minutes. So if you do know anybody in Rockport, or you happen to be watching from Rockport, you should get to your shelter now. Eccles, McHenry, Beaver Dam, Rob Roy, Horton, and Arnold, Kentucky should also start keeping an eye out on that. And well, you should already be in your tornado shelters if you are in Beaver Dam, Horton, or Arnold, because you do have a tornado warning that's been ongoing for you guys. That's until 9:30 Central Time, so just under 20 minutes left there for you guys. Looking back here in our area, this cell that's in Breckinridge County has been gradually weakening a little bit. Come out just a little bit more there.
It's a power flash. It's just over the Western Kentucky Parkway to Central City, and power's out with that.
Power out, that one.
Where?
The
Oh,
one
in Central City. So TG's saying that there is...
North of the Western Kentucky Parkway, they had power flashes as it went by, and the power's out. So.
I'd say it's probably 30, 40 miles west of Litchfield.
That Central City one?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Heading towards Grayson County, so Grayson County needs to have a heads up.
So if we... Yeah, that's about...
It's about 35 miles from Caneyville and about 45 miles from Litchfield.
Oh, there you
Although
go.
with the track, looks like it might stay north of the parkway.
So TG was saying that there were confirmed power flashes there near Central City, just north of the Western Kentucky Parkway. So that is also a confirmed tornado that's been causing damage there. Also, one thing I want to look at here, Ben, if you see this,
Yeah.
southern, it's moving really slow. Right here.
Little notches.
Mm-hmm.
I would say between the Western Kentucky Parkway, Rough River, Breckinridge County, you guys need to be extra alert, because all this is kind of heading your way.
Excuse my sign. Yeah, Ben. There's a Ben.
Yeah.
There's a tightening couplet there.
Yeah, so.
So if you are in Breckenridge County, kind of right there along 261 Highway, southwest of Hardensburg, probably a good idea. I mean, you should already be inside, but just be prepared in case a tornado warning is issued to go ahead and take that tornado precaution, because what I'm looking at here that's of concern is this notch right there. So we call that a couplet. That's indicating where wind speeds are going towards and away from the radar. And when you have that, you generally have a good indicator that there's rotation there, and you also have that possibility of a tornado. So that's why it's important to keep an eye out on that. Okay, I'm turning that feature off, so that won't be in the way so much. All right, so I'm looking in Breckenridge County right now, and this is just a severe thunderstorm warning just south there of Tar Fork, but it has our attention here because if we look at the radar wind speeds right there, let me get my tool here, right there, we have a little couplet which indicates winds that are going towards and away from the radar, and that's important because that indicates there could be some rotation in that general area, and if that continues to strengthen, then you have that risk of seeing a tornado. So there's no official warning out on that quite yet, but we are still keeping an eye on it just to be safe.
Sorry. Decent cover right there.
And again, I'm looking at a lot of your comments right now and talking with Ben and TG at the same time. I'm going to move here to our velocity. Right again, and pardon me for my silences. I'm looking at your comments and doing a bunch of analysis at the same time. Amy says her sky looks pink in color. Amy, wherever you live, that'd be a good information to know.
You cannot like prefer the pace to, although like I said, I like this, just especially, you know, for the couplet, that's better. I think it's
Okay, so back in Ohio County there, that storm doesn't have as impressive of a structure as it did before, but they do still have that tornado warning that's in effect for Ohio County until 9:30 Central Time. And according to a list service, at 8:42 Central Time, a confirmed tornado was located near Central City, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour with a radar confirmed tornado. Power flashes were observed north of the Western Kentucky Parkway, just west of Central City. So if you're in Rockport or Beaver Dam, it's a good idea for you guys to be in that tornado shelter, or if you know anybody that lives in those areas, it's a good idea for them to have to be taking their tornado precautions. But if we loop this over the last hour, you can see that it's weakened quite a bit, and it's moving into a more stable environment. So that means there's just not quite as much fuel for it to work with, and that also means that it's going to be weakening slightly a little bit too.
I put those on there too in this show right here. We need to talk about it.
big old chunk of real estate.
Why?
So
You still?
you back out that view and that line in Missouri, that's about our 9 to 10 a.m. line.
This one?
Yeah. That's the last one.
So
That's the actual cold front.
what Ben is talking about is this activity right here in Central. This is why we were saying it's going to be such a long event. So this is sort of the appetizer, so to say, which, you know, not to sound too dramatic, but it is what we call prefrontal. So this is just sort of the initial wave of thunderstorm activity we're expecting. This line back here in Central Illinois, that's the actual cold front that's going to push through later tomorrow morning. Keep in mind, it's still almost 10 p.m. on Friday, so we're not going to see this activity here in Central Illinois move through our area until roughly about 7 to 9 o'clock Saturday morning. So that's why it's going to be such a long duration event, and why it's important that you have ways to get weather information. And you know, we can talk about that too, severe weather safety tips at night. You obviously want to stay up to date on the forecast. You need to have a way to wake up for a warning. If you have a NOAA weather radio, that's a great way to do that. You know, leave your phone on sound mode. Don't put it on vibrate or silent or anything. Make sure.
Putting in there too.
Hmm.
Oh, I was talking.
Make sure your cell phone is charged so your ringer and alert is on. You can download the WHAS 11 app, that is free. That will also send alerts to your cell phone, and your designated safe space, which should be a basement or the lowest level, most interior room of whatever building you're in, away from outside walls and windows. That is also where you need to be going in the event of those stronger storms.
Find the cold front.
Yes, my favorite game.
It's in Missouri.
So let's actually, you know, kind of a thing we can do just to give you an idea of.
That's the NC temps under currents folder, which is pretty good.
Currents. Which one?
Currents, and then this one.
All right, so you guys are also kind of getting a preview of how our stuff works back here. So one of my favorite weather games to play is Spot the Cold Front. And I think you can spot the cold front here. It's still really a long ways back. Actually, it's further west than central Illinois, but it's 65 in Louisville. It's almost 80 degrees in Memphis at 8:30 their time, 41 in Kansas City. So we got a really big temperature difference there. Up in Regina, Canada, it's 7. 16 in Casper, 30 in Pierre, but that's just giving you an idea of how strong that cold front is. Let's come back here and look at radar at the moment. So that structure we had in Hardinsburg is that storm there. They have not issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, which is a good thing. So that's saying that that cell, although it's still strong, it's still also entering a weaker environment, so it's not going to have as much energy for it to work with. If you're in Meade County in Brandenburg, you're probably seeing some of that heavy rain at the moment, and between the Watterson and Gene Snyder here in Jefferson County, getting a little bit of light rain, but that is it. Now, I have not forgotten about you folks up here in southern Indiana. You don't have any warnings. However, there, if you are northwest of Hanover in Jefferson County, Indiana, you're seeing some pretty heavy rain. South of North Vernon and Lovett, Seymour, right along the I-65 corridor, you also have some strong rain at the moment.
Is that EMPS 2 or 3?
3.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so let's look. I'm seeing a lot of comments here asking like what kind of weather threats we're going to see. So let's talk about those weather threats. The biggest threat that we have is damaging wind gusts. These would be straight line winds. You can have straight line wind speeds of over 70, 80, 90, 100 miles per hour, and that can cause significant damage. We do have a risk of tornadoes tonight. We've already seen several tornado warnings, and there have been confirmed tornadoes off to our west and in western Kentucky, just outside of our viewing viewing area.
Far off the deck.
Flooding threat is fairly low, believe it or not, just because this is a fairly quick-moving line of storms. 50-mile-per-hour storm speed is actually very quick, so that means you're not going to see that rain kind of pile up because it'll be in and out so quickly. And also, just given the setup of this weather event, hail is not as likely to be a significant threat. Now, again, the flooding and hail threats are low, but they're not zero, so just keep that in mind. But damaging winds are going to be the largest threat we face tonight, in addition to those spin-up tornadoes that we've already been seeing. But so far, some of those tornadoes have been fairly long track in nature. We'll go back to radar right now. Hardinsburg, they still, you're at the very tail end of that storm there. Irvington, Meade County, Brandenburg, you're seeing some of that fairly heavy rain at the moment, but still don't have any additional warnings in our area. Jennings County, Lubbock, North Vernon, you're seeing some heavy rain. Seymour, Crothersville, Hardy Lake. And for those of you that are just joining, we can also preview one of our in-house computer models and just kind of time out the rest of the night. So here's a current look at what this particular model was suggesting, and it's not quite reflecting reality. We can kind of take a lot of that activity and push it a little bit further to the west, and that will reflect our current situation a bit more. But as we continue through the night, this is 1:30. Notice how we're seeing a line of pretty strong thunderstorms that will be moving across the area. So from Louisville, Shepherdsville, down towards E-Town, Litchfield, Carrollton, Frankfort, Bardstown. It's an event that's going to be affecting for pretty much our entire area over the course of the night. So this is at 1:30 in the morning. By 2:30, 3, 4 o'clock, we're still seeing some scattered thunderstorms. By this point, the atmosphere would have been worked over a lot. So a lot of that energy will have been used up by the earlier storm. So maybe by this time, our storms will not be quite as severe, but we're still going to have that risk nevertheless. But it's not going to be done until we get this cold front to pass. And that's not going to be between about 6 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And by that point, temperatures are still going to be fairly warm. We're still going to have a lot of moisture and a decent amount of energy to work with. So we could still get an even later round of some of those stronger thunderstorms by about 6 to 9 o'clock in the morning. And then things will start to quiet down. I'm working, let's see here. Jose says, I'm working traffic control for El Genie in Brandenburg, getting strong winds, more frequent lightning with thunder above us, and moderate rainfall.
That's a good report. And then on here, all the debris from homes and billboards along the Western Kentucky Parkway from that Central City storm.
Okay, so Ben is saying there is debris from yards and homes from this storm here.
Billboards.
From
Homes and billboards.
from homes and billboards along the Western Kentucky Parkway. So it sounds like there was we already knew there was a tornado in Central City, but it sounds like it was a pretty significant one that's gone through the area of Central City. Thankfully, that storm, which has moved into Ohio County now, north of Beaver Dam and just to the west there of Horse Branch, has weakened quite a bit, but it is still going to be posing a risk. And there's still several more storms further back to the west, southwest of Central City, south of Madisonville, north of Hopkinsville, and northwest there of Kirksmanville. And that's just the initial stuff. We still have all of this back here near Paducah, the Boot Heel of Missouri, and central Illinois, eastern Missouri, that we're going to have to get through tonight as well. Currently, the most significant storm that we have is right here in northern Breckinridge County over Irvington and parts of Brandenburg in Meade County. Not severe in Meade County, but you are getting some pretty gusty winds from the sounds of it, and heavy rain, especially there south of New Amsterdam. What communities do we have here? Painville.
We're only 11 hours from wake up at 9 a.m.
Andyville. Shush. I'm going to be needing a lot more caffeine. I might actually have to drink coffee for once. If you know me, I do not like coffee.
Let me sit down.
All right, back in Arkansas, so this is not in our area. Jason Baker says in Arkansas, a nursing home was hit by a tornado in Monette, Arkansas, just a few minutes ago. So it is a
Just shows how strong the storm system is. Look at all those reports.
oh yes, let's look at some of those storm reports. So this will kind of help give you an idea of why we need to take this event seriously tonight. We don't often see severe weather events like this in the cool season. It can happen, but it does not happen often. So these are all the storm reports that have been reported so far. We have a lot of hail reports, wind reports, tree damage reports, and there have been several confirmed tornadoes in northeast Arkansas, and they're in the boot heel of Missouri, moving into extreme northwestern Tennessee there near Union City. And we have had a couple of confirmed tornado reports here near Central City, which has caused some pretty significant damage to some homes and billboards, with debris being picked up and carried eastward along the Western Kentucky Parkway. So that's why we are paying close attention to this
tonight.
tonight.
If you're on top of a 5,000-foot little mountaintop, those winds are like 60 to 100 miles an hour just off the deck.
All right, looking at some of your comments here. I'm going back and forth between a couple of computer screens. First, we're looking at our 30-minute lightning count. It's all pretty confined there in a couple of areas, but we've seen about 260 strikes in that red box.
That warning's done in Breckenridge.
Okay, and that severe thunderstorm warning in Breckenridge County has expired. There's no new warning for Meade County. You're just seeing some pretty heavy rain and gusty winds, so that is good. Now, we are still watching this, what was tornado warning cell in Ohio County.
Yeah,
It's weakened quite a bit, and that warning is supposed to expire pretty soon.
Yep.
9:30 Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, -1 is 9. Okay, so 30 more minutes.
There's that 1 hour. Yeah.
So this is bordering on Grayson County, but to answer a question, if there was a threat for Grayson County imminently, not quite yet.
That's that Carruthersville, Missouri one that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where you timber.
Oh, wow.
Down. I guess they got a picture of it with the lightning flash.
He gets on everything.
I mean, you know, I mean, he's the one that tweeted it out.
Louisville's down by 3 if you want to do that. Score up there. Ooh, they're down by 5.
Are we talking about basketball?
Yeah, 52 seconds left. They're down by 5.
Oh, Louisville basketball's down by 5 seconds with less than a minute. Little sports update here.
There's a nursing home you were talking about.
I can't see it, but Jason,
Looks like the roof's torn off.
Jason, TG just showed me a picture of that nursing home, and he says the National Guard has been activated out there for it.
So you can.
Oh, that is really bad.
So
Yeah.
it's just looks like the roof's gone. I mean, it didn't flag it, but
Man.
obviously.
Yeah, chat logged me out. I had to log back in. Canceled tornado warning in Ohio County.
Okay, so that tornado warning in Ohio County was just canceled.
Because he said it would be
So that's good. So that means at the moment the only really heavy rain that we have is over Meade County and southern Harrison County there, just south of Cordon.
And you might be wondering why these warnings are dissipating as you get closer to Metro Louisville, and we're right on the edge of more stable air. These things are exploding in western Kentucky, moving up the Western Kentucky Parkway, and then running into slightly more stable air over us. But eventually that really unstable air that's creating all these explosive thunderstorms with tornadoes is going to move our direction. So that's why we said, you know, Alden's been mentioning the appetizer before the main course. Well, the main course is a big area of unstable air, which is out in western Kentucky, Arkansas, Illinois, and Missouri. And so there's a big air mass that is still going to shift our direction and give us more rounds of probably some explosive development of severe weather.
So, here's that. That's that Monette one, our former.
All right, so that tornado warning that was canceled in Ohio County, you're going to start to see some more heavy rain moving into southern Breckenridge County here within the next, pretty soon.
Arkansas, where that nursing home was.
You're looking at a radar loop of the last hour.
Hope they're all right.
Deal.
That is a lot of wind. I can't believe there's not a severe thunderstorm warning on that.
Where? Oh, in
Ohio County. But it could be off the ground. I mean, the radar's 3,000 feet up. Look at that. And that is a
Yes, somebody got it drawn up. It looks worse than it is because of the light. That's that nursing home. Like I said, it looks like the roof's mainly gone.
got hit. Look at all that out fast.
Brooke, to answer your question from a few minutes ago, currently Breckenridge and Grayson County, you don't have anything that's severe moving in, but you do have this heavy thunderstorm right here that's going to be making its way into the area. Map is moving really slow. Right there. This is mainly for Breckenridge County. So if you live in Hardinsburg, you're probably going to see some more heavy rain here in just a little bit.
It's pretty wild how that storm out of Breckenridge just lost all of its steam. Which is good.
Jay asking if the storms we're seeing now are a big factor for the storms later, or is the warm air that pushes in going to dominate? So we're going to be in the
Influence.
no.
These storms aren't going to impact the storms out west. These are just riding on the edge of.
The air mass that's coming in is plenty sufficient to support rounds of severe weather late night.
So we still have all of this stuff that's back in Arkansas headed our way. We have all of this here that's in Illinois and Missouri that's also going to be headed our way. So this is really just the beginning of what's probably going to end up being a fairly lengthy night. But currently we don't have anything that's severe warned in our immediate coverage area. That's the good news. If we get in here on southern Harrison County, south of Corden there, you are going to see some pretty heavy rain. Parts of Bullitt County, extreme western Bullitt County there, right there along the river, you're seeing some moderate rain. Valley Station and PRP, you're going to start to see some of the heavier rain as well, but again, nothing is severe. You'll probably have some of those stronger wind gusts moving in. Brandenburg, you're still experiencing some of that very heavy rain at the moment. And Hardinsburg, we're watching this cell here, as that's probably going to be clipping you guys within the next 20 minutes or so. Otherwise, we only have one tornado warning that's near us, and this is again including Central City, north of Nortonville and Greenville. This is on the Western Kentucky Parkway, west of Litchfield. So still a ways away from us.
Ouch.
I'm going to be doing that a lot. We'll look at a Futurecast again. I see a lot of people asking about the timing.
We might be able to take a break if there's.
So here we are at midnight. Notice we have that activity that I was just showing you in parts of western Tennessee and eastern Arkansas that's crossing the Mississippi. That's going to be headed our way here within the next couple of hours. So it's still going to be a little bit before we really start to see things light up possibly.
Look at that Central City.
By 1 to 2 o'clock. We're still seeing that line of thunderstorms move in here, and we're still going to have plenty of energy and moisture to work with. So that's why we'll continue to see that damaging wind and tornado threat well into the night. And it's not going to be until about 6 to 9 o'clock across the area that this line here at 7 o'clock, that's the actual cold front, begins to push through, and that's going to give us the end of this rain and a severe weather event here as we head into early tomorrow morning. So it's still going to be a while. There's a tornado watch in effect until 3 a.m. for all of these counties that are shaded in pink. That's actually been extended northward now. It includes all but 2 of our counties, but Adair County there and Carroll County, you should still be on alert. But these counties shaded in this light shade of red, pinkish color, tornado watch until 3 a.m. Eastern time. Currently looking at radar in our area, we just have heavy downpour there southwest of Hardinsburg in southern Breckinridge County. We're seeing heavy rain to the south of Cordon. Elizabeth, we'll put this into a loop over the last hour. So Lanesville, you can expect to see some heavy rain here within the next 20 to 30 minutes. This will also be moving it towards Floyd and Clark counties. It'll probably just clip parts of Metro Louisville right now. So as for those severe weather threats that we face, damaging winds are going to be the biggest threat. So those would be straight line winds of 70, 80 miles per hour or more. That is possible. We could see some spin up tornadoes. We've already seen actually tonight several damaging tornadoes in western Kentucky and further west of the Mississippi. Flooding and hail threats are lower. They're not zero, but they are lower. So the main things we're going to be concerned with are the damaging winds and that tornado threat for tonight. And since this is an overnight event, here are some tips. You're going to want to stay up to date on the forecast. You need to have a way to wake up for a warning, so that means keeping your cell phone charged, your ringer and alerts on. If you have a weather radio, that's also good. Make sure that it's plugged in or has batteries, and make sure you have your designated safe space with a first aid kit available in the unfortunate event someone was to be injured. Now, as for your tornado shelters, you want to get down to the lowest level, most interior portion of whatever building you're in. If you have a basement, that's the best place to be. If you don't have a basement, get down to a central stairwell, the central hallway, a closet, a bathroom. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you live in a mobile home and you don't have a basement, mobile homes are like the worst place you could be in the event of a tornado. You need to have a secondary location that you can try to get to. So if you can ask a friend or family member if they could possibly come to your location for the night, just in case there's a tornado warning, or if you could quickly get over there if a warning is issued, then that will be extremely beneficial.
Basically saying what you've been saying, my data is just too stable. They're not gonna issue those warnings way out ahead like it was before, because it's weakening by the time it hits on.
That's good.
They did have a few more damage reports in Central City, so.
Give me time to prepare.
Ben, do you want to sign off for a minute?
Off what?
Take a break.
Outbreak stream?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you already say goodbye?
No, not yet. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you here with radar really quick. We don't have anything too severe. Well, we don't have anything severe, honestly, that's going on in our immediate area. Strongest storms that we have are southern Breckenridge County and southern Harrison County. Those are moving to the northeast, and those will bring some gusty winds, heavy rain, and some frequent lightning. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and sign off for now. If there is a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning, especially in our coverage area, we'll break in on air on WHAS, and we'll also be here on Facebook as well. So thanks for watching. We will be back tonight. It's going to be probably a long night, and we will be